This is Young Wolf CEO Jaron Lucas, and I'm glad to have you join me today. These are just a couple of our products that I'm going to be touching upon, but I'm actually not going to be using this session to speak too much about our products itself, but instead talk about something that's really important to me, which is the importance of low carb dog food. You've probably heard of the low carb diet for humans. Of course, that's been a very popular thing. And as I've gone deeper and deeper into research around canine nutrition and canine microbiome, it turns out that dogs are actually very similar to us in so many ways. So a lot of the benefits that humans get from low carb diets, dogs get too. The number one being, right now we're seeing growing rates of diabetes and kidney disease in dogs. And both of those can be directly traced back to high carb diets. Most dog foods, especially dry kibble, and a quick side note, this is not dry kibble. This is something much better. It's soft and chewy, slow baked. We'll talk about that later. But when you look at most dry kibble, it's 40 to 70% carbohydrates. And I'm actually starting the honesty in pet food movement primarily because carbohydrates are the one macronutrient that are not required to be listed on pet food labels, if you can believe that. So protein, fat, carbohydrates, those are the three macronutrients that exist. Two of them are required to be listed on pet food labels, and one of them makes up the majority of dog food and is not required. I wonder why that is. So, as I started going myself into keto and paleo and keto cycling, and really just diving deep into the research behind why keto works. Now, I do want to preface by saying, whereas a human can enter ketosis in like as little as 24 hours, it doesn't work the same way in dogs. So, for a dog to enter actual ketosis, they would have to be in starvation for 3 days. A lot of these keto dog foods that, are being marketed that way, not the same, but that doesn't destroy the fact that a high carb diet is causing blood glucose spikes in dogs, and dogs are carnivores by nature. So we would think that if humans are susceptible to insulin resistance and diabetes from, a constant highly processed food diet high in carbohydrates, that dogs might even be more susceptible to it. And that is true. That's why we currently see these growing rates of diabetes and kidney disease in dogs. The kidney disease is the hidden one. Not many vets, from what I've seen, have actually tied that to the high carb diet. But what happens is that the kidney is actually responsible for creating insulin, which is a key part when you eat carbohydrates. The body has to create insulin in order to bring glucose levels back down. So when you have an overactive kidney, that is over time what's leading to this insulin resistance. It's what's leading to overuse of the kidney and eventually a deteriorating condition of it. So, that I could go on for hours about that one, but it all comes back to why a lower carbohydrate diet is better for dogs. Now, I think I entered this saying, dogs should probably have like a full meat diet, and the science also doesn't say that. The science really suggests that dogs should keep their carbohydrates at 30% or less of their diet. So that's still quite a bit. Here at Young Wolf, we're really trying to target it between 15 and 25%, but at the end of the day, carbohydrates come in two forms, or I will place them and bucket them in two forms. One is they carry, so you could look at like a strawberry or a blueberry, something that carries a lot of antioxidants and minerals. That's one kind of carbohydrate that is very high in minerals that are really hard to get elsewhere, especially in an all-meat diet. Then there's the other kind of carbohydrate like rice, potatoes, wheat, soy. These are very cheap filler ingredients, highly inflammatory, the direct cause of diabetes. I will repeat that. When you see rice and potato in pet food, the highest quality pet foods especially, those are filler ingredients. They're just being marketed very well. So those are not things that we use at Young Wolf. I am very passionate about using only the highest quality ingredients, keeping things low carb, and not using any fillers, even if it costs us more, which it does. So, we accept lower margins in our products in order to make sure that pet parents are able to, for a relatively affordable price, be able to get the highest quality nutrition for their dogs. It really breaks my heart when I see people feed their dogs these, just to give you an example, like a lot of vet recommended, so like if your dog comes in and currently has type 2 diabetes, a lot of times they're going to recommend a very high carb diet, which just shows the lack of education in nutrition that there is today. And this isn't only in veterinary community, this is also in human medicine, unfortunately. These are things that I think more people are kind of waking up to, which is a very good thing. But at the end of the day, we need to take care of our own health and the health of our pets. And at the end of the day, that's going to come through a low carb diet without these simple high carbohydrates that are spiking our dog's blood glucose and, it eventually leading to insulin resistance and diabetes. So that's, I don't want to completely say that you should remove all carbohydrates from your dog's diet. A couple of things that I'll point out there. First of all, I actually tried doing that to my dog. And one of the first things that I found out that this is like very common is my dog's TMI poops started turning gray and really hard, and I was wondering why, and that's because that he was getting too much calcium in his diet. So very common when dogs go on too high of a meat diet that they start to have other issues that can also eventually be dangerous. Vegetables have things like fiber in them, which are very, very important. One, they're great for digestion, but also there is quite a lot of microbiome research that's been done that all unanimously says that eating more fiber leads to greater microbiome diversity. So you have more diversity of gut bacteria, this same thing applies to humans, but also your dog will have more microbiome diversity by eating more fiber. So what that means is that they will hopefully live longer, because microbiome diversity is directly tied to various longevity microbiome and biomarkers that have been studied over the past kind of 15 years. This is all very new science and microbiome. It's very cool stuff. We actually, and I don't have it on the table with me here, but we actually also just launched a perfect probiotics dog food topper that's really cool, and it's all about that. It's about extending your dog's microbiome diversity and then adding a couple of really clean ingredient prebiotics that actually feed them and kind of create this symbiotic loop. So low carb diet, adding just a little bit amount of fiber to it is really important, and then also making sure that it is complete and balanced. One thing that you see a lot of homemade diets get wrong, and by the way, 95% of homemade dog food diets are actually deficient in one or more nutrients. That's what leads to health issues over the long run. So that's why we created this perfect dog food mix. It has all the vitamins and minerals that a dog needs to stay healthy, but allow you to make homemade food for your dog with just 2 ingredients, the mix and ground meat. And it's a variety of ground meats. You can use beef, chicken, turkey, pork, especially if your dog has allergies. That's great because it means that you can rotate and figure out what they're allergic to without really switching up their food. So that's a little bit easier on their tummy. But also, this is just like a super clean dog food, low carb, the ingredients are amazing in here. So both of these products are super high in antioxidants, and antioxidants, what they do is they protect cells from external elements that come into the body called free radicals that actually pull electrons out of cells and in the process kill them. So instead of having those kind of like start to bind to the cells in you or your dog's body, eating antioxidants like blueberries, like cranberries, like there's some other antioxidants out there. By doing that, instead, those free radicals start to actually bind to the antioxidants. So it leaves your dog's body healthier, intact, and again, it's associated across the board in many studies with increased longevity and different biomarkers that are related to longevity. So very important because, at the end of the day, don't we just want our dog to be with us another year or two? That's why we're doing this. That's why we pay more for high quality dog food. We could go out and buy the cheapest stuff out there. And I started out doing that myself. But once I really started getting into the research, really started understanding what nutrition means, how we can prevent diabetes, how we can prevent all these things, both in humans and dogs. I really started putting a premium personally on paying for nutrition. Like literally a third the cost of a night out could be the entire difference between eating a low quality type of food in you or your dog's diet, or like having the very best. So that's the decision I make, and obviously a lot of pet parents are starting to increasingly get onto that bandwagon too, because dogs are biological animals just like us. So anything that is going to help fuel their cells, fuel their metabolism is going to be associated with helping extend the lifespan that they're going to have across the board. So, and at the end of the day, this Perfect Kibble, super convenient. It's a soft and chewy dog food. Click the link below if you want to kind of see what I'm talking about. It's not dry kibble, it's slow cooked. We take all natural ingredients, we press them together into something that looks kind of like a granola bar. Again, take a look at the product listing and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then we actually press it, put it onto baking sheets, put it in a giant oven, slow cook it for 2 hours at low temperature so that we don't degrade the nutrients. Certain vitamins and minerals start to degrade at certain temperatures. So we want to slow cook it so that doesn't happen. We take it out of the oven, let it dry, put it in the bag. And so this is a freshly baked dog food. It's very cool, very yummy. If you are watching this in December, we are about to launch actually V2 of Perfect Kibble, which I'm also very excited about. More on that to come. We're also about to launch a beef flavor in just a matter of weeks here. That's been hugely anticipated, and with a combination of ingredient sourcing and just like getting the recipe right to the macros, the low carb macros that I really care about. It took us a while, but we're there. It's launching now. Stay tuned for that. Definitely grab Perfect Kibble now though, let your dog try it. But I just wanted to mention that we have a really exciting update coming for you on that. And with Perfect Dog Food Mix, this really came out of me starting to feed my own dog a homemade, whole food diet, just like myself. I moved from ordering Postmates every night to starting to actually cook and use clean ingredients and be healthy. That's what this is for dogs, but it's a lot more convenient because we've taken all of the ingredients like carrots and blueberries and all that, and instead of you having to chop it and mix it together, we've just done that for you here. So that's why this is very cool, and it's highly addictive to dogs. Chef Ray did a great job on this. It tastes amazing, and I would say that we have 16 recipes available on our website at yumwoof.com/recipes. definitely go check that out. See if anything looks like it's going to be right for your dog. But pretty much every meat is covered by this mix, which is very cool. And also just super clean. There are literally no preservatives in here whatsoever. It's the cleanest dog food on the market, and again, low carb, just the right amount of fiber, just the right amount of it's all the vitamins and minerals your dog needs, plus a little bit more of like all those antioxidants and really beneficial stuff. So this is a product. Both of these are products that I use myself. This is all I feed my dog. Highly recommend them, especially if you have a puppy. Getting them on a whole foods diet fast is just the best thing you can do to make sure that they grow and don't develop any issues or allergies in particular early on. So like one of the things that I really love about Perfect Dog Food Mix for puppies is the fact that you can actually switch, you can rotate between meats so that they don't develop a food allergy. I'm sure many of you watching this have heard that more and more dogs are becoming allergic to chicken. And in fact, when we look at our organic traffic coming from Google searches, the number one phrases being searched for that people are coming into some of our articles for are all about allergies for chickens. Dogs having more and more allergies to chicken is becoming a huge problem, and a lot of that is simply because it's a half the price, a third of the price of beef and a lot of these other ingredients. So it's very cheap for dog food companies to use, which means that dogs are being exposed to chicken more than pretty much any other meat. That's fine, but if you're not rotating your diet, hopefully your dog still never has any issues. But the reason more and more dogs are having health issues with chicken allergies is simply that it's in 70% of dog foods on the market, and if you overexpose yourself to any certain ingredients, or your dog is unfortunately having the same done to them, over time they can develop allergies. So that's why this is great, because you can keep the same base ingredients. It's like eating the same food. It won't upset their tummy, but you can meal prep and do chicken one week, beef the next week, turkey the next week. Only 3% of dogs are allergic to turkey. Pork is about 2%. Pork, in my opinion, is the most underrated meat and protein for dogs. There's kind of a joke in the dog food community that pork is just like always a failed dog food product to offer. You don't really see too many out of them, but it's a pity in my view, because one, it's just a really affordable meat. Two, it has a very great fat profile. So like when you break down fat content into the fatty acids that are in it, it's a lot of monounsaturated fats versus like chicken or beef. And then, like I said, very few dogs are allergic to pork, and same thing with turkey. So yumwolf.com/recipes is where you can see all of the different recipes that we have for this product. Highly recommend checking that out. And I think I'm gonna call that a day on this one. I'm gonna be trying to do these live streams every morning around the same time, so make sure that you follow our channel, subscribe. We're gonna keep doing these Amazon Lives. And if you have any questions, reach out to my team at wolf@yumwolf.com, whether it's about our food and you're interested in one of our products, want to learn more, or you want me to talk about a specific topic. Today, we really wanted to focus on low carb dog food, why it's better for your dog, why it can prevent diabetes and insulin resistance and kidney issues, and a lot of these other things we're seeing in dogs today. So thanks again. I'm Yum Wolf CEO Jaron Lucas, and we'll see you tomorrow.